You're sitting there right now. Maybe it's late. Maybe you've got 6 tabs open, and you're trying to figure out if the life you've been building is going to hold. I know that feeling, not from the internet, from my kitchen table, 1997, with a legal pad and a pencil that kept breaking because I was pressing too hard. Harold had just been diagnosed, my husband, and in the middle of all that fear, all that noise in my head, one thought kept cutting through everything else. Can I afford to survive this? Not emotionally, financially, because nobody tells you that grief comes with a price tag. And I realized, sitting there, that I had spent decades in a library helping other people find answers, and I had never once sat down and found my own. So I'm going to save you that night. I'm going to give you 5 numbers. That's it. 5 numbers that will tell you whether you're ready to retire, close to ready, or further off than you think. And I'm not a financial advisor. I shelved books for a living. But I'll tell you something. I've been retired now for a long time, and the women at my church who are struggling, it's not because they didn't work hard. It's because nobody gave them the plain truth early enough. So here's your plain truth. Number 1, your expenses. What does your life actually cost? Not what you think it costs, not what you wish it cost. What does the money actually do every month? Most people guess. I guessed too. For years, Harold handled the bills, and I handled the groceries, and we never once sat together and looked at the whole picture. That's embarrassing to say, but it's common. More common than people admit. After he passed, I sat down with every statement, every receipt I could find, and I was stunned. We were spending almost $800 a year on things I couldn't even identify. Subscriptions to magazines we didn't read. A storage unit across town with boxes we hadn't opened since 1983. So do this today, not tomorrow, today. Sit down, pull up your bank statements from the last 3 months. Write down every recurring cost: housing, food, health care. And let me tell you about health care for a moment. If you're on a good plan through your employer right now, and you're not paying much out of pocket, retirement is going to shock you. Medicare Part B, supplemental plans, prescription coverage. I pay more for health care now than I did for my mortgage in 1975. Factor it in. Overestimate even. You want margin. And here's the part people skip. Build in the things that make life worth living. Trips to see your grandkids. A nice dinner once a month. Books. Whatever it is. Because retirement where you're just surviving? I've seen it. My neighbor Gloria retired in 2004 with a plan that covered the basics and nothing else. She hasn't left Eau Claire in 9 years. That's not retirement. That's house arrest with a pension. Number 2, emergency savings. You need a cushion before you ever stop working. 6 months of expenses, minimum. Sitting somewhere boring and safe. A high-yield savings account, Treasury bills. Something that isn't going to drop 20% because the market had a bad Tuesday. I'll tell you why this matters with a story. February 2006. Dead of winter. My furnace died. Not making a funny noise died. Dead. And the plumber, bless him, looked at me and said, "Mrs. Olson, this unit is older than most of my employees." Replacing it cost me $4,200. If that money had been tied up in the market, or if I'd had to pull from my retirement accounts early, it would have started a chain reaction. One unexpected bill shouldn't be able to knock your whole plan sideways. So whatever your monthly expenses are, multiply by 6 and put that number somewhere you won't touch it. That's your insurance policy against real life. Number 3, and this is the most important one, your fixed income. What money is guaranteed to show up every single month, whether you get out of bed or not? Social Security, a pension if you're lucky enough to have one, an annuity. These are the bones of your retirement. Everything else is muscle and skin, but this is the skeleton. I was a public librarian for 31 years. Not glamorous, not lucrative, but it came with a small pension, and when I combined that with Social Security, I had a foundation. Not enough to live lavishly, but enough to breathe. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the Social Security Administration website. You can pull your actual projected benefit. Don't guess. People guess and they're wrong by hundreds of dollars in either direction. If you have a pension, call the plan administrator. Get the real number. Write it down, because you cannot plan a life on a feeling. You plan it on a figure. Number 4, the gap. Take your monthly expenses, number 1, and subtract your fixed income, number 3. Whatever's left over, that's your gap. That's the hole you need to fill, or you're going to be dipping into savings every single month, and savings has a bottom. In my case, when I first retired, my gap was about $1,400 a month. That's the distance between what came in automatically and what went out automatically, and seeing that number was sobering. It was real in a way that vague worry never is. Vague worry you can push aside. A number on a piece of paper that stares back at you. But here's the gift in that. Once you know the gap, you can start closing it. You can adjust. Maybe you delay Social Security a couple of years and your monthly benefit goes up. Maybe you find expenses you can trim without it hurting. Maybe you realize you're closer than you thought. Or maybe you realize you need another year or 2 of work, and that's better to know now than to find out when you're already out the door. Number 5, your investable assets and what they can actually produce. This is your 401k, your IRAs, your brokerage accounts, not your emergency fund, not your checking account. What do you have that is invested and growing? The old rule of thumb is you can withdraw about 4% a year without running out. So if you have $500,000 in invested assets, that's roughly $20,000 a year, maybe $1,600 a month. Does that close your gap? If not, how far off are you? Now, I'll be honest, the 4% rule has always felt conservative to me. It was designed for a very plain portfolio, 50-50 stocks and bonds, decades ago. A smarter allocation might let you pull 5% or more, But that's where I'd tell you to talk to someone who does this for a living. I organized library fundraisers, not mutual funds. What I can tell you is that these 5 numbers, expenses, emergency savings, fixed income, the gap, and investable assets, they gave me something nobody else could. They gave me clarity, and clarity is the opposite of fear. I'm 91 years old. I've been retired for over 20 years. I still have money in the bank, not because I was rich, a librarian in Wisconsin, come on, but because I sat down with a pencil and I did the math before the math did me. You have time to do this. Maybe more than you think. But the worst thing you can do is keep it vague. Keep it in the fog. Keep telling yourself you'll figure it out later. Later has a way of showing up on a cold Tuesday in February when your furnace dies, and you realize you never had a plan at all. Sit down tonight. Get your numbers, even if they scare you, especially if they scare you. Because a scary number you can see is 1,000 times better than a comfortable fog you can't.